Good evening and welcome to the Formula Racing League Assetto Corsa Competizione. Round 2 of the Taco Tuesday series takes us to the land of the rising sun here at Suzuka, Japan. I'm Tom Cairns in the commentary position, providing you with all the details that you need to know throughout the next couple of hours or so, as the drivers get as much mileage in as possible before we begin the 15-minute qualifying session and then an hour race to wrap up the action. This is practice at the moment, so I'll take the opportunity to let you know what actually happened at the opening round of the season at Laguna Seca 7 days ago, and it was the reserve driver Dominik Vodka from Germany who came out on top over Sean Kull, who harassed him to the flag. 7/10 of a second it was between the top two at the end, with Adam Andersson on his Tier 1 debut coming home in 3rd place, with Mario Senio coming home 4th and Jan Zukovic, last season's champion, crossing the line in 5th in the BMW. In terms of the championship, well, given that we've only done one round so far, it's Sean Kull leading the way with his 2nd place finish, because Vodka, as I've already mentioned, is a reserve driver. He's 2 points clear over Adam Andersson in 2nd. And the reigning champion Zukovic is in 4th position on 32. Hoping to have a full grid tonight, and from what I've been given on the check-in in terms of the full-time drivers, 25 have checked in for tonight. I will mention as well that there are a couple of drivers who did check in but did not actually turn up on the occasion. I believe they were Lewis Robinson and Jason Sargent, who did check in apparently, but were given a 5-point penalty going into tonight's race. Now, in terms of the rules within Taco Tuesday, if you fail to show up, it's a 5-point penalty, even after you've checked in, because the drivers are given those rules beforehand. Clearly, Robinson and Sargent didn't quite turn up as much as they should have done. Maybe if they did check out and told beforehand that they wouldn't be racing, then they perhaps wouldn't have picked up that penalty. So it is what it is. It's round 2 of the championship out of 10. We've been to Laguna Seca. Tonight is Suzuka. Go to the Hungaroring next week for the first of the 3 90-minute specials with 2 mandatory pit stops included. We go to Snetterton in Great Britain, and we stay in Britain for Silverstone on the 16th of May, followed by Bathurst, which will play host to the 2nd 90-minute special on the 23rd. We go to the Nürburgring in Germany on the 30th of May, and then we finish off the season in Misano, Zandvoort and Kyalami on June the 20th. Side the championship, hopefully it'll go down to the last race. And we've got 22 in the lobby. Hopefully we'll see a few more before tonight is done. Have joined us, we do welcome you. Do feel free to get involved in the live chat if you so wish to do so. 5.8 kilometres this Suzuka circuit. It's a very historical one and nostalgic for a lot of people. Most synonymous with Formula 1. Circuit first opened in 1962. Didn't host Formula 1 until 1987. Played host to the championship decider on 12 occasions, which is the most of any circuit in the history of Formula 1. Monza is just behind it, although the last time a Formula 1 Drivers' Championship was decided at Monza was in 1979, courtesy of Jody Scheckter. Of course, Max Verstappen was the last one to do it here at Suzuka in 2022. Suzuka didn't host in 2020 or in 2021. It's only been off the calendar 4 times since it first came onto it in 1987. Other than Formula 1, it has played host to a lot of the Japanese motor cars, including Super GT, Super Formula, which recently played host to its latest round at the weekend. It's also the FIM EWC event that's been held, the Suzuka 8 Hours, to host the Japanese MotoGP, the last of which happening back in 2003. It's hosted the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, which I believe was on the Formula 1 support bill in 2019. Driver with the race lap record is Lewis Hamilton in that same year. While Suzuka has its fair share of history for some entertaining battles on track, it has been a venue for tragedies as well. One most in particular to a lot of people's eyes is Jules Bianchi, who aquaplaned off the circuit at the as he came through Dunlop, but that's as much as I'll give that, because it was a horrendous accident that ultimately cost his life 9 months after the shunt. Is continuing to set the pace, continuing the form from last week so far, but there's a long way to go yet. Now, in terms of the time elapsing, it is multiplied by 2, so we're going twice the speed as what it would be in real life. Over at Suzuka, at the circuit that drives the race on, it's 6:45 PM as Stuart Hutchinson goes through the hairpin. Making his way back down the hill again. Sean Cole qualified second and finished second last week. The driver who would be the most disappointed coming away from that was Melvin Crows, who ended up further down than expected. He finished in 11th position at the end of the race. Let us know what you've been up to during the week. I'm sure Formula 1 fans will be aware of the latest on the sprint format that will be beginning this weekend in Baku. And in case you are wanting my opinion on it, and I'm very much on the fence with it. I'm happy for the concept to be given time. I mean, this year we've got a record-breaking 6 sprints during the course of a Formula 1 season. It seems to definitely work in MotoGP, as MotoGP are using that concept of doing qualifying on the Friday and then the sprint on the Saturday and the main race on the Sunday. That seems to work for them. But for Formula 1, it's certainly raising more questions as to whether it's best suited for the sport. It's a very debatable topic indeed. So Ray Thomas going into second place. Pole sitter here last season. Nikola Busov in third position. Good to go well here. It was ninth last week at Laguna Seca. I think we've got another driver joining the lobby just now. That is Bruno, who'll be coming out onto the circuit very shortly, so good to see him in the lobby tonight. See Busov running wide there at the spoon curve. Back on the circuit. Bruno Canavera, as he's always known as, he's in the number 46 Audi. He's out on circuit now, so he'll be getting at least a flying lap in. And as the field make their way through, well, I say the field, the cars are very much spread out, trying to get track position. Sorenson's in 5th place, Demian van der Waal 6th, it's Niels van Lyck in 7th. We've got what appears to be small hand in the number 420 Porsche. Just looking to see where he is on SimGrid actually, because that's a new name that's come up for me. Just want to be on terms of who he actually is. It's Blakely Townsend. In terms of his previous record within the FRL, he's taken part in the Super Sprint Challenge, or he's going to be at the weekend, this weekend coming up, so I think he may well be a debutant actually in the Formula Racing League. Got just out for a minute to go. You can see the light is continuing to fade. I'm sure the light will come back on as qualifying commences. And there's Eldari, who will be coming around to complete the latest lap he's doing. Dory crossing over the line now. Now the finish line on this game is actually further down the pit straight. It's where the start line is. Now Dory's just gone past it now. He's gone into second place, ahead of Ray. Van der Waal is on circuit, as is Will Freeman. Bruno is out on circuit in the 46. He's coming towards the spoon curve now. See Freeman running wide there. I'm sure he's exceeded track limits there, so we'll come away from him and we'll go to the 46 of Bruno. He's coming out of the spoon curve now. Trotman's got a time on the board, but it's not a very representative one. He's 22nd at the moment, over 3 minutes off the pace. Out of the Casio triangle chicane. Right-hander that leads onto the pit straight. How is this going to put Bruno here? Didn't see where he ended up. We'll have a look on the timetable to see where he actually ended up. And he ended up reasonably high. He ended up at 11th quickest actually, despite the fact he only did 2 laps of practice before qualifying has begun. Well, qualifying is underway now. At this moment in time, we've got 24 drivers in the lobby. Hopefully we'll see more before qualifying is over. We had 29 last week. Who's going to take pole position? Remember, there's no points for pole position, but there are points for fastest lap. And the driver with the fastest lap at the end of the race will get 2 extra championship points. The time of the session here at Suzuka is 7 PM. I just wonder where it's going to end up being a night race here at Suzuka, which is not personally my favourite on this game, because you don't get the floodlights being switched on. You can only see the headlights and you can just see about who is who. I was hoping it would be during the day, but it's not. Busa was the first driver out of the pits, so we'll stay with him for now and see more and more drivers heading out on track. I think there's only like 3 cars in the pit lane as we speak. Make that 4, but it will be 3 in a second. Crossing over the line around about now is Busov, and so we'll go for a lap with him. We'll try and do our best to make sure we get the best coverage possible. So we're looking at the wrong car at the moment, just bear with me one moment. So with Busov now, he will take us through out of the first turn and then through the S's he comes. Remains in second gear for the first part of it. Then continuing up the hill, down to second again after being in third for a little bit, 125 kilometers an hour before he uses the throttle once more, and then we go through Dunlop and allow the car just right through the long sweeping left-hander before you approach the 2 corners of Degner. Curved quite a bit, it went a little bit too deep there, but got away with it. In the curb on the exit of the second Degner corner. Now he approaches the hairpin in first gear, 60 kilometers an hour as you go through the apex, and then you accelerate out and then up and down the hill again, coming towards 6th gear. Well, he was in 6th gear for a moment, now he's having to shift down before he can start braking. Second gear it is as he's exiting Spoon and using the curb on the exit, not too much and not running wide, but you need to carry all the speed you can down and up where the circuit will overlap. Maybe 130R, no problem. He did lift off the throttle as you need to in these cars, and now he's heading through the Casio triangle chicane. He had a little twitch which will compromise his exit a little bit. The exit wasn't too shabby, and now he's onto the pit straight. It'll be over 2 minutes. It'll be run about a 2 minutes 2, I would say, on this one. 2 minutes 2.4. Will that be the fastest time? I doubt it will be, because Ahmed Aldori has gone to the top with a 2 minutes 0.6. Ray in second, and it's Rapiduck, Busov and Van der Waal who's got a time on the board, but it's not a representative one. Milden's gone fifth. Who's improving behind? Well, Stuart Hudson is gone again, I believe, or he's just come out of the pits. Here's for Bizzle, who struggled last week at Laguna Seca. Smallhand's gone fourth quickest. Van der Waal's gone into second place. So Andy Craven's gone 12th with a non-representative time. Cameron Blair behind in 13th. So Bavissel is on the pit straight now. Sean Cole's gone to the top. Bavissel stays where he is in 19th. We've got the 747 of Tom Fagan, the Irishman, in the McLaren. It's going over the line now. Where is this going to propel him from where he is? He goes 15th. It's not a very quick lap, so he needs to go again. Nils, I think, is just staying out of the way. Rui's on a lap, presumably. Freeman's just coming out of the hairpin. Mario Asenis and Sunny out. It's coming down the back straight. Less than 9 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Bruno's gone fourth quickest, a whole second off the pace, but at least he's thrown himself into the mix. But it's Sean Cole who's setting the pace by 0.02 of a second. What is the number 99 Audi of Moritz going to produce? Coming over the line now. One of 5 drivers yet to get a time on the board. Made that 4 and now 3 because he has gone to the top by 3 thousandths of a second. So last season's race winner at this track, producing the goods once again here in season 9. Freeman is heading towards the line now. Where is this going to place him? Still no time. He must have exceeded track limits on the lap he was doing. But the 57 heading over the line now. That's Fireblade. Is this an improvement on before? It is. He goes 18th. And there's someone else behind who does improve. That is number 34, I think, that improved. I'm trying to see how far he went up. It was Papizzle, he goes 17th. There's Trotman, over 3 seconds off the pace at the moment. Make that 2.5 because he's gone 19th. It's Fagan looking for a more representative time from before in the McLaren. And this time puts him up to 18th position. .152 is heading over the line now as well. That is Cameron Blair, and it's still not a representative lap time. It's faster than it was before, but he still needs to find a whole lot more than what he's found. He's a whole minute off the pace. I'm sure he's going for a more representative lap time on the effort he's doing now. Here's Niels van Lyck. From the Netherlands. He's approaching the line. Where is this going to put him? He goes not up the order on this occasion, so he may have run wide on this lap and ruined it altogether. Sean Cole's down to 3rd place though. He's been displaced by Aldori, has gone to the top. 2 minutes, 0.440. Robertson goes 6th. Van der Waal is coming round in the 433 Audi. 8 tenths off the pace. He's now in the 6.5 tenths off the pace. He goes 6th fastest. Got the number 8 crossing over the line. That is Will Freeman, one of 2 drivers yet to get a time on the board. He's now left Nils on his own in terms of not having a lap time. The car number 8 has gone up to 8th position. Got the number 34 of Papizzle heading over the line as well, and he goes up to 16th place. He was able to find a couple of tenths. Still some time to be found though. Now last season in qualifying, Papizzle ended up in 16th position, and that's currently where he is now. This is Rapid Duck Jan Sukovic heading over the line, and this lap time of his, if it is a lap time, is not good enough to move him up the order, so he's got to go again. Further behind, is that Adam Anderson just crossing over, or was that Andy crossing over? Might have been Andy actually, who's just gone up to 18th. Now Anderson, podium finisher last week, 19th at the moment here at Suzuka. There is Nils, the only driver yet to get a time on the board. We'll have a couple more goes at least, in case this one doesn't count. Nils in the BMW goes up to 9th position. That's a very nice lap actually from Nils. So that pushes Fireblade down to the bottom of the leaderboard. It's Aldori's to lose, although Moritz is coming around to complete the lap that he's on. Is this good enough to put him onto provisional pole? He goes over the line, and it's good enough for pole for now. 2 minutes, 0.235. Couple of tenths faster than what Aldori has done. Kull is in 3rd place at the moment still, and he's on track. Bruno, can he improve his time? He can't, but he remains in 4th place. There is Melvin Kroes, MGK as he's otherwise known as, in the number 23 Ferrari. He's approaching the line now. Is this going to be enough to move him up the order? Start lines where the lap time's been clocked. And he was not able to improve on that occasion. What about Adam Anderson? Was he able to improve? Not by the looks of it, so he stays in 20th position. 4.33 of Van der Waal coming around the last turn now. In 6th place. Can he displace MGK and go up into 5th position, maybe even higher if he's lucky? He can't do it on this occasion. Stays where he is. We've got the number 16 of Andy, and he's not able to move up the order behind. Who else is coming round? So we've got the number 57 of Fireblade coming over the line now, the man at the bottom of the leaderboard. And he's not able to move off the bottom, so he stays in 24th place. Got Ray, I think, crossing over the line now. Not sure if this is going to be an improvement. The man who took pole position at this track last season in Tier 1 in Taco Tuesday in P16. It's Cameron Blair in 17th place. Smallhan's doing a good job though in 10th. Moritz crossing over the line now. Is this an improvement from before? He's able to break into the 159, so he goes further ahead of Aldori. Last season's race winner is on provisional pole at the moment. What can Aldori and Kull do now? Well, Aldori's coming round the last turn. He's got Will Freeman in front of him, who I think is about to complete a lap. He's P12 at the moment. Doesn't move up the order. Does Aldori move back to provisional pole? The answer is no. Stays where he is. Now looking to see who else is on a lap. MGK is coming round the last turn. A whole second off the pace to Moritz now. Can he reduce the arrears? He can. But he stays in 5th place. And it looks like Rui or Ray's moved up the order, is it? It's number 888 of Adam Anderson. He's moved up to 14th. Podium finisher at Laguna Seca last week. Only P14 in qualifying here. The 4.33 heading over the line now. That will be Van der Waal. He was not able to improve on his time, so he stays where he is. Number 16 of Andy, who goes up the order, I believe. Looks like he'd gone up the order. I think someone else may have moved up the order. May have been the 152 of Blair. It goes 16th. Stuart Hudson, only 15 for the moment in the BMW. He's got some work to do. Got a few more cars heading over the line now. I've got the 444 of Cull. How is he getting on? He goes to pole! Ahead by less than 200ths of a second over Morex. So Sean Cull is on provisional pole. Now Morex has got it back. Morex has taken it back away from Cull. 600ths of a second is the margin right at the end. Aldori is coming around the last corner now. The checker flag is being waved. So these will be the last lap times that the drivers will be producing in this session. Bruno goes 4th. That's his session done. What about Aldori? Can he do anything about the top 2? He improves his time, but not his position. 3rd on the grid it will be for him. MGK is coming around the last corner now. Can he get onto the 2nd row? He's shown some promising pace so far. Can he get even better for him? It's improving lap time by a 10th, but it's not enough to move him up the order. P5 or lower is where he'll be. Got the number 34 heading over the line as well. That is Babizzle, who's only good enough for 20th. There is Van der Waal, who's coming round the last corner now. Can he move on to row 3 maybe? Improve by a couple of tenths from before. He can, you know. And he displays his nils right at the end. Got the number 22 coming over the line next, I believe. That is Hutchinson. Behind him is the 420, I believe, of Smallhand. Hutchinson stays 15th. Smallhand stays in P11. We'll go back to Busov. Can throw himself into contention for a podium later today. He improves his time, goes up to 6th place. That's a nice improvement there from Busov. Excellent indeed. Rapidoc only 14th, so the reigning champion with some work to do from where he is. And qualifying is over, and it's Morex by the narrowest of margins, who is on pole position here at Suzuka in Tier 1 in the Taco Tuesday series. Sean Cull will be 2nd on the grid as he was last week at Laguna Seca, but he has a different rival to contend with compared to last week. It was Dominic Vuka. This week it's Mauro Asenio. Armin Aldori is 3rd with Bruno Canavera in 4th place. It's MGK in 5th, Nikola Busov 6th. It's Damien van der Waal, Niels van Lijk in 8th, Ray Thomas 9th, and Lewis Robertson in P10. We've got Will Freeman and Smallhand on the 6th row of the grid with Ben Milden and Jan Sukovic on row 7 with Adam Anderson and Stuart Hutchinson on row 8. There's Cameron Blair and Rui on the 9th row. Andy Craven and Ice Dude are 19th and 20th. Babizzle and Fagan are on the 11th row. And at the back is Paul Chopman and Fireblade. 60 minutes lie ahead of the drivers. I think considering how this race is going to go, there's only one mandatory pit stop that the drivers have to do during it. It'll either be a 29 or a 30 lap race, depending on how quick they are, and maybe depending on the conditions. We'll wait and see. Have just joined us, we do welcome you. Morex taking pole position right to the end. Very, very close between him and Sean Cull. It'll be a very close contest between those two, I'm certain of it. Could come down to the pit stops, you never know. less than 3 minutes away from the start of the formation lap. It'll be another few minutes before the race will begin. Rolling start it'll be for the 24 drivers participating tonight. Mind you, on the point system, it's 40 points for a win, it's 38 for second. It's a 2-point difference between each position down to 11th, and then from 11th to 30th is a point difference. You get 1 point for finishing 30th, but considering there are 24 drivers in, should all of them finish, they'll get at least 7 championship points. So not too long to go now, and we'll see the cars go off the grid. Not sure what time it is in terms of the race start. Just find out what exactly that is. In terms of what's happening here at Suzuka, in terms of the time, I don't think I've got that sent to me, or I know of. Have a look. It's the grid go off, and it's Morix on pole, with Sean Cole alongside, then it's Ahmed Aldori with Bruno in 4th place, and then we've got MGK and Nikola Busov on row 3, Damien van der Waal and Niels van Lyck in 7th and 8th on row 4, then it's Ray Thomas and Lewis Robinson on row 5. Will Freeman and Smallhand are 11th and 12th with Ben Milden and Jan Zukovic, otherwise known as Rapiduck, on the 7th row. Then it's Adam Anderson in 15th with Stuart Hutchison keeping in company on row 8. Cameron Blair and Rui are on the 9th row of the grid with Andy Craven and Ice Dude on the 10th row. Then it's Farclov Pavizel and Tom Fagan on row 11, and at the back is Paul Trotman and Fireblade. In case any of you who Fireblade actually is, Fireblade would prove to be so many names I'm having to go through at the moment, so bear with me just a moment to find out that information for you. That is Mark Bagnall, the number 57 McLaren. In terms of the timing of the start of this race is, well, we've just gone past 8 PM here at Suzuka. So Morix we are with at the present moment, taking us through the hairpin. So dark in front of him. It was a night race as well for the drivers in last season's event. I don't know whether for certain whether they actually prefer racing in the darkness compared to doing it in the day. I would kind of like to have seen them do it in the day, but that's not how the Formula Racing League wants to do it. See from this helicopter angle of Morix taking the field round. 1 hour in front of them, there is a mandatory stop. They don't have to refuel, but they have to change tyres. Otherwise, they will receive a post-race penalty if they do not do that. Time will elapse twice the speed as what it would be in real life, so I'd expect the race to finish just before 10:15, which will still be darkness here at Suzuka. In the area of MIE, M-I-E as it's spelt, in Japan somewhere. Played host of the Japanese Grand Prix from 1987, 2006, and then from 2009 to 2019, and then resuming again in 2022. That's a total of 32 races that Suzuka has hosted as part of the Formula 1 World Championship. The cars will be coming back into their rows of 2, and Moritz will be preparing himself for the green flag. The race won't begin until they go through the start line, which is where when the laps will be clocked. Here we go, the car's on the pit straight now. Can Moritz get off the line splendidly at the start? Green flag is waved right about now, and they're off. Moritz will lead the field into the first turn. Kull slotting in behind in second place. And then further behind we've got Bruno, who's got in front of Aldori as they go through the first turn for a moment, but Aldori's fought back. So the top 4 is as you were on the grid. MGK has dropped back a little bit. In fact, he's lost a couple of places to Busov and Van der Waal by the looks of it. So Van der Waal's moved up a couple of places. He's up to 5th place. Busov 6th. Then it's MGK in 7th place. And then behind him is Nils in 8th. Ray's dropped back a little bit because Lewis Robinson's got in front of him. So there's not too many changes. I don't think we've had any incidents throughout the opening part of the first lap, which is good to see. You can see the field going through the first half of the lap, or the first sector of the lap. We can see the leaderboard updating itself. But it's Moritz leads ahead of Kull, Aldori, Bruno, Van der Waal, Busov. There's MGK, Nils, Freeman and Robinson in the top 10. Freeman's made a promising start so far. He was outside the top 10 at the beginning, and he's found himself up into P9. Temperature 16 degrees, track temperature 16 degrees also. Further behind we can see Bruno almost as though he got a little bit out of shape into the spoon curve, but got away with it. See, there's a few battles going on further behind. There's Robinson trying to fend off Ray Thomas behind, and Ben Milden fancies to go around the outside of the Brits. Oh, Milden on the grass there, and that's going to leave him horribly approaching 130R, and he's lost the position to Rapiduc, who's trying to make a move on Ray at the same time. He very nearly got collected by Milden as he rejoined the track, so Milden was able to rejoin without making contact, thankfully. It was quite a dangerous return to the circuit, but he got away with it. So lap 1 done. It doesn't look like anyone is ducking for the pits. All of them completing the opening lap without any of them needing to pit for repairs. Dory's right on the tail of Kull for second position. Bruno trying to keep up, but I think he's lost the positions. Has he lost the position to Aldori? No, Aldori saw. Oh, that's enough for Sean Cole, running wide at Dunlop. And he's lost, I think, 3 places, No, just the 2. He's riding the curves heavily at the moment. It got well out of shape through Dunlop, ran too far out wide, and he's lost positions to Aldari and Bruno, and that's dropped him down to 4th place. See a move going on further behind. Is that MGK trying to get through as well? Is that Nils and Freeman fighting it out? I think Freeman's trying to get through on the BMW, but there was also a battle going on ahead between Van der Waal and Kull over 4th place. Van der Waal's not able to get through at the moment, but he'll be hoping to get through at some point in the near future. Fastest up of the race so far is from Tom Fagan, but we've only had 1 lap so far, so I expect the lap times to come down. Field going through the Casio Triangle chicane for the 2nd time in this race. Bruno doing a terrific job so far in the Audi 46 in 3rd place. 2nd into the race rather nicely as Van der Waal tries to get into the situation to think about having a go on the championship leader of Sean Kull into the 1st turn. MGK is in 7th place and it's Nils. Freeman was not able to get ahead of him on that last lap. Not too much going on further behind either. We'll tell you the 420 of Smallhand has dropped down the order, so he was very much in the midfield at the beginning. But has made a mistake somewhere. I'm just trying to see where he actually had his spin. Must have done it, I think, at the beginning of the 2nd lap at the S's, and that's why he's dropped back so much. We can see Rapiduck under threat from Ben Milden in the fight for 12th. Rapiduck trying to get through on Ray, so the reigning champion trying to get past the number 58 BMW. No rain is expected for the race. It should be dry throughout, which I think for the drivers is good news for them. Fastest up of the race is from Morex. The last lap time he was able to do. Just trying to get the lap times up. For some reason it's not allowing me to do that, so we'll just have to go on board with it and see what the lap time is. It's a 2 minutes point 8 that Freeman has been able to do. And Aldari is not too far off him. So they cross over the line now. The gap is down to 6 tenths, so Morris has lost time on this lap. The field continuing to settle. No major incidents so far. There is a battle going on further behind though. That looks like Trotman getting in front of Fireblade as they go into turn 1. I don't know whether Fireblade made a mistake coming out of the Casio Triangle. He's falling behind Trotman now into 23rd position. Smallhand trying to make up for lost time. Aldo's got the fastest up of the race now. The last lap time I believe he did. It won't tell us on here, I don't think, as much as I will try and do that and try and get that information for you. I don't think it's going to allow me to do that. So Aldori's lap time, if we have a look, was a 2 minutes 3. So it was a 2 minutes point 3 that he had posted. Really good battle for the lead, hotting up now. Moritz under pressure from Aldori. Aldori didn't have a lot of luck go his way last season, to be honest with you. But way down in 25th in the final standings. His best result being an 8th place finish, which came in round 6, which I believe was Barcelona. That was when we had a reduced field back then. Not many didn't turn up. I think that was for the reasons of it being Valentine's Day that particular night, so you can perhaps understand a lot of the drivers spending time with their loved ones. And Aldori is half a second behind. Bruno and Kull fighting over the final podium position, and we've got Van der Waal and Busov having their own battle for 5th place. Bissell 18th, iStudent 19th, and it's Fagan, D, Trotman, Fireblade and Smallhand, the rest of the runners so far. 4 laps done. Given the way the field are progressing, I would probably say leaning more towards a 30 lap race if the leaders are quick enough in getting through the laps. Given the lap times we've been seeing, it's pretty much been 2 minutes. The fastest lap time we have seen in qualifying was a 1:59.9. It may even come down to the fact with the pit stops as well, that the longer you stay out, the shorter your pit stop will be. Wonder what is going to be the decisive factor here at Suzuka in terms of how the tyres are going to be faring on this circuit compared to what we saw at Laguna Seca last week, because we didn't see many drivers go for the late pit stop. Their tyres, I think, were pretty much falling off the cliff by around half race distance, and that was when those tyres needed to be changed on that occasion. May not exactly be the case here, but that's down to the drivers to decide on when is the best time to pit in. Of course, the benefit of staying out longer than your rivals means you'll have less laps to do on the new tyres towards the end, and that can give you the advantage closing stages. Alright, just crossing over the line right now, still in the lead. Game P7, Nils 8th. It's Freeman, Robinson, Ray Thomas and Rapid Duck. Anderson up the inside, is that Milden he's trying to get through? No, I think that's Hutchison he's battling. I think it's Blair actually. Blair trying to make a move on Anderson. So Blair almost thinking about going for it at the S's, but sensibly slots back in behind. We'll be back for more though. And Smallhand, I think he's just dropping back continuously. Although he's closing back in on Trotman a little bit, so he's giving himself a chance of getting back into it later on. Let's try something different with his strategy compared to the others if he's to salvage anything positive from this race. There's your top two, going through the hairpin. Now nearly a quarter of the way through, and I think Smallhand has had another spin at the S's, but has continued. And Smallhand has retired in the pits via the pause menu, so I think that's his race over, unfortunately. Smallhand, the first retirement of the race. Minutes in, so we're 20% of the way through this one. We're looking further behind because there's a move going on, and that looks like Sean Cold getting a move on Bruno into turn one. Does he go for it on the inside? Does Bruno see him? He does, and Bruno was able to cut across on him just in time before Cole was able to get within a car's length. I think he might have been within a car's length, but Bruno was able to go that a little bit braver into turn one to keep hold of the final podium position. Nils has got in front of MGK into 6th place, so he's on the move. Freeman up to 8th, and it's Robinson, Ray, Rapiduk and Milden. I think someone has dropped down the order, and it's Nikola Busov. So I don't think Nils got in front of MGK. I think he's moved up a position because Busov had a spin. Now, I'd be interested to know where he had that moment. So I think probably we were concentrating on the battle for the lead. Busov dropped down the order by, I think he dropped down the order by sector 2. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, I think he dropped down about a lap or so ago. Did Busov, unfortunately. He was in 6th place. And he was down to 16th by sector 2. So yeah, I think he had a spin somewhere. It might have been at the Degnikers or something, or whether he came together with someone, not too sure, but he's left himself with a lot of work to do in a race that does go very quickly. Coming up behind Cameron Blair for 15th place now. Line up for a pass. Will he go for it into the Casio Triangle chicane? Probably not on this occasion. Cameron Blair, you can see, trying to fend off as hard as he can, hence why his line into the Casio Triangle chicane wasn't as optimal as he would have liked. And that's going to put Busov into the position he needs to get into the slipstream, go right round the outside into the first turn. How brave is Cameron? Prepared to take it. He allows Busov the space, the line, and he's able to get past. Dory in P2, Bruno 3rd. And it's Sean Cole still harassing him in 4th place. I think MGK's dropped back. He's behind Freeman and Robinson now. He's in 9th position. So he's made a mistake somewhere, I think. Might be behind Ray Thomas actually as well, thinking of it. No, he's still in front of him. But he's behind Lewis Robinson. Rapiduck in P11. It's Ben Milden in 12th place. I don't know what it is with Milden and Jan Zukovic here tonight. Maybe this circuit may not be the best track to do well on. I'm sure there'll be other circuits where they've performed better at in the past. Senses the gap up front. The two drivers in your picture, Mauro Arsenio and Ahmed Aldori, fighting it out for victory here. Moritz won here last season, just to remind you. And we can see Sean Cole line up for a pass on Bruno. He's probably too far back to do it here, unless he's braver on the brakes than the Audi driver. But Sean Cole waits it out a little bit longer. And I don't think there's any other activity going on further behind. Well, Busov's trying to make up for lost time still. He's on the back of Anderson for 14th place. It's the Porsche versus the Audi. In terms of which manufacturer is having the best race so far, that would have to be Audi, because the highest two cars of theirs are running in 1st and 3rd places in the Manufacturers' Championship, which is different compared to how the teams used to do it last season. Going into tonight, Audi had a 4-point lead over Mercedes-AMG, and with the way things are going at the moment, they'll be picking up 40 points for a win, and Bruno picking up 36 points for them, so they'll be picking up 76 points. And the second best team will be Mercedes, with Aldori in 2nd place, picking up 38 for 2nd and 2 points for getting the fastest lap, and Sean Cole in 4th place, which would give the team 34 championship points. That will see them on 74 points at the end of this race. Will that be the same? No, it'll be a 2-point difference in terms of who gets what. So Audi will still be leading the championship after tonight. So teams' two best scores from It's the best 2 cars' scores for each manufacturer. See Van der Waal in 5th place. Oh no, that's Busov watching actually, and he's see Adam Anderson taking a horrible line into the final chicane, and he's not able to get through on this occasion. McCall's not past Bruno yet either. Go back to the battle between Anderson and Busov. Busov going for it. Anderson lets him through. Doesn't fight it too much, and Busov's able to get back through. The next man ahead of him is Stuart Hutchinson, who was another 3 seconds ahead. Right on the tail of Bruno, can't find a way through at the moment. Bruno runs wide on the exit of the second part of Degner, which might give Cole the chance he needs to make a move up the inside into the hairpin. Goes defensive, does Bruno. Now we go to the helicam. Keep an eye on Cole as he closes in. It's early stages in the championship, but if it was to remain as it is, Mauro Assenio will be coming away with 40 points, which will move him on to 74. Sean Cole with a 4th place finish would move on to 72. So it'll be Arsenio leading the championship after 2 rounds. Ahmed Aldori will be moving up from 9th in the championship. Ahead of Busov, ahead of MGK, ahead of Milden, ahead of David Santos, who's not racing tonight. He'll move in front of Rabiduka as well. And Anderson. So I think Ahmed Aldori will be moving up to 3rd at the present moment, with the positions as they are in this race. 10 laps done. Morris's lead is only 1.6 seconds over Aldori, and another 3 seconds back from the battle is Bruno and Cole. So they both go into turn 1 together. Sean Cole runs wide at turn 1. Be careful with track limits. Running wide too much. Busov is 2.5 seconds behind Hutchinson as he's pulling away from Anderson, so he'll get the hammer down and start closing in on the BMW ahead. We're over 20 minutes into this race now, so when will the drivers start to pit in? And it looks like Nils has got past Van der Waal now. He's into 5th place. Van der Waal is down to 6th place, and he's got Will Freeman all over the back of him. Now Will Freeman go up the inside and make a move here. Let's get a better exit than the Audi. I think he's going to line up for a pass in a moment, although he's not going for it just yet. Freeman all over the back of the Audi still, and he's got Lewis Robinson behind, so whilst he needs to watch what's happening ahead, he's got cars behind him waiting to pounce, and Freeman decides to take the opportunity to pit in, so he'll be the first to make a stop. As the car slow down to the 50 km/h pit lane speed limit, and joining him is Ben Milden. He decides to try and do an undercut on those ahead. So both in at the same time. They'll rejoin at the back, but at least they'll have track position. On second is the margin between race leader Mauro Arsenio and second place Ahmed Aldori. Your picture and the background are Bruno and Sean Cole in third and fourth. Niels van Lyck having a good race so far in fifth place. Getting past Damien van der Waal on the last lap. Freeman and Milden have done their stops now, so they should rejoin in 22nd and 23rd places. Track temperature and air temperature has dropped down slightly. It was 16 degrees earlier on, it's now 15 degrees for both concerned. I think Milden had a better stop than what Freeman has done, hence why he's all over the back of him, because he wasn't right behind him when they came into the pits. Now, will any of the leaders decide to respond to the pit stops? Well, Sean Cole decides that now is the time to try and complete an undercut on Bruno for third place. He's in at the end of lap 12. It's vitally important for him that he gets out in some clean air. He stops in the box round about right now. And Rapiduck and Busov are also in. At least that's two less cars that Cole needs to worry about. There's Trotman right behind Fireblade. These two are battling over 20th place on track. See the Ferris wheel in the background glowing. That's probably one of the satisfying things to see here at Suzuka. Cole is leaving the pits now. Where is he going to rejoin? Well, he'll be behind those two that are going through, but I think he's got some clean air in front of him. Cole rejoins in 19th place. No change for the lead still. Busov is rejoined behind Rapiduck, Freeman and Milden at the back. See the leader going through. Aldori as well. What will Bruno decide to do? He stays out for now. He's probably thinking more about trying to get a late pit stop in so that the length of the pit stop won't be as long. Anyone pitting in at the end of this lap? Well, Hudson's staying out for now. Anderson is doing the same. Blair is also staying out. Rui's coming in though. Feels the time is right for him to come in for a stop. Still carries on for now. Does the same. What about Ice Dude? Is he coming in? No, Fagan isn't either. I think Fireblade, I would imagine Fireblade and Trotman will probably go through as well. Nearly halfway through. Moritz continuing to lead out in front. Far in front of Valdori though, it's only just over a second. So Rui should leave his box roundabout now, I would have thought. Has done his stop now. Will rejoin behind Busov in last position. Lap 14. Alright, continuing. It's good form. Just to stay out for a little bit. Aldori is coming in. So the second place man takes time out to come in. Now is around about the time really to make the change if we're making the change at around about half race distance. See MGK lining up on a move on Robinson in the background. He's got Ray right behind. Hutchison in P9. Anderson 10th. And it's Blair, Pavissel, Andy next behind. I wonder if any of them will be at the end of this lap. Decides not to. Continues on for another lap. Isu doing the same. Fagan as well. Now, is Aldori going to get out in front of Sean Cole? Because Sean Cole has been in clean air, although he's coming up to the back of Fireblade and Trotman. And carried on of Fireblade and Trotman. Cole's going to be on the back of them in a moment. Aldori's done his stop now, and he's in front of Sean Cole. And he's crucially in front of Fireblade and Trotman. So Aldori has timed that pit stop perfectly. He's got some ground to make up on Fagan, who's another, let's say, just under 6 seconds, but it'll be more than that because Aldori will have been just coming out of the pits. .8 seconds between Moritz and Bruno. Either of them decide to pit in this lap. Halfway through the race now. Track at its optimum. I think Moritz will respond. He is, and Bruno is coming in at the same time. Important part of the race now. The top two on track coming in. What will Nils decide to do? Is he going to carry on? Is he coming in? No, he's coming in. Van der Waals coming in. Robertson stays out for another lap though. MGK, Ray Thomas are also in. But Stuart Hutchison, will he decide to stay out? No, he's coming in also. Anderson decides to stay out, so he'll be in second place on track. Blair goes in. So I'd imagine Robinson's going to try a different strategy here, unless he's only going to do one lap more or two. Anderson second. Pavissel stays out. Andy also stays out. Icedude doing the same. Fagan also staying out. Moritz has done his stop. Got the number 15 of Aldori coming through. That's important because he's fighting with Moritz for the lead, but I think Moritz should get out in front. Has Aldori done enough here? Moritz is coming out, and I think Aldori's got the jump on him. He has. Aldori's in front. So Aldori is into the next race lead. The undercut had worked out perfectly for him. He's able to get the jump on his rival, but the race is far from over yet. Bruno got out behind Moritz. Is he in front of Sean Cole as well? No, he's not. And Sean Cole was able to get the undercut on him also. So the next man ahead of him, ahead of Cole, is Moritz. So you can see the net race leaders coming through. Aldori continuing on his way. And we've got Sean Cole looking for a move behind Moritz. Coming out of Degner. Doesn't go for it at the hairpin. Just needs to change the camera slightly. And it looks like MGK, has he gone for a spin or something? Not too sure, but Hutchison has dropped back, I think, because he's made his pit stop. Robinson continuing on. Slapping Fireblade, who's come out of the pits. Anderson comes in from second. This is the battle we want to be watching. Cole right on Morris's tail. Morris runs wide. Does Cole go for it into the final chicane? Waits it out for a little bit longer, but he needs to get a move on here if he's got any chance of maybe having a go on Aldori to win this race. Sean Cole with the fastest up of the race as well. That'll help him in terms of the championship. Got Andy and Ice Dude in the pits, along with Anderson, who's yet to leave his box. Stays behind for now. And Morris running wide over the curbs there. That'll leave him tight into the S's. All of this is helping Aldori up ahead. Does Cole go for it on this occasion? Be very brave if he did so at the S's. Anderson will be down the order as well. Where will he rejoin? He's rejoining 8th place actually, I think. Well, he's shown in 8th, but no, he'll be a lot further down than that. He's behind the number 22 of Hutchinson in 18th. Take my word, I got a little bit excited for a second. But Morris is able to stay in front of Cole, and Bruno's closing in on those two now. Robinson decides the time is right for him to pit in for his mandatory stop. Will Pavizzle decide to do the same, or will he carry on for a little bit longer? Pavizzle decides to pit in. So could we see maybe Tom Fagan take over the lead? For a lap at least. Decides to carry on. Fair play to him. Now on lap 18. Battle for what will effectively be second place is hotting up. And Trotman hasn't been in the pits yet either. He's moved up the order. He's behind Bruno in 5th, so he'll be in... No, 6th, sorry. Fagan continuing to the field. Don't think he's made any mistakes on this lap, but he won't be going at the pace of what the net race leaders will be doing. Two drivers yet to stop in this race now. Tom Fagan in the lead and Paul Trotman, who's showing in P7 but will actually be in P6 once he goes through Sector 1. There's some clean air in front of him actually, thinking of it, which will help him. Robinson was able to get the jump on Van der Waal, Nils in the pit stops, and that's important. MGK's lost ground in the pit stops and is down to what will effectively be 12th place. Fagan will be happy to just wait it out until those fighting for the lead, or would be leading this race, are coming up to pass him. Then he doesn't have to move out of the way though, remember, it's not a blue flag situation. He's fighting for positions as much as likes of Aldori, Morix, Cole and Bruno are. And now it's turning into a 3-0 fight. And Fagan has come into the pits now, so Aldori takes over the lead of the race, looking on course for victory. Be his best result in a long time. Looking at the results in Taco Tuesday. Oh, and that's Morix making a mistake and so on. That will leave the door open for Sean Cole to make a move on the inside. And Cole has got through to second place. So Cole has passed Morix. Terrible mistake from Morix, and that has cost him dear. Into turn 1, and Sean Cole has got through into P2. Can Bruno put himself on the podium and push Morix further down the order? Very interesting indeed. I don't know where Aldori ended up in season 7, because the highest finish he had in Taco Tuesday last season was I think was 6th in Barcelona. The last time he finished up higher than that was when he finished in 4th position, and that was at the season finale, which I believe was Laguna Seca. Last time he had finished on the podium was in round 8 at Donington. It might have been Kyalami actually thinking of it, working it out. It was Kyalami wave last time that Aldori finished on the podium in Taco Tuesday. Looking very good for the win here tonight. These three are fighting over 2nd, 3rd and 4th places respectively. Robinson will be very happy with 5th place at the moment, as will Ray Thomas, has just moved in front of Damien van der Waal now into 6th. And I think van der Waal is struggling at the moment. It's got Nils, it's got Rapid Duck, Will Freeman, Ben Milden, MGK and Nikola Busov leaning in behind. Oh, and that's a mistake from Milden, and I think that's going to cost him a place to MGK and Busov, who have got through. Busov trying to take advantage to get through into 11th place, goes to the outside of MGK, and that is another position gain for Busov. And Andy's in the pits, and he's been there for a long time actually. He's been in the wars somewhere, and I think that's his race finished. So that's the 2nd driver out. Moritz all over the back as Sean Cole runs wide a little bit. He's closing down the gap on Aldori to 2.6 seconds by sector 1. Look further behind because Ray Thomas has just run wide actually. Is that going to allow van der Waal through? Not at the moment, but the field is pretty much bunched up behind. And van der Waal thinks of going for it at the hairpin. Decides that that's not the right time to do it. So we've got Robinson in 5th place, sorry. All the way down to Ben Milden in 13th. It's a 9-car scrap for 5th place, and then we can see van der Waal making a move on Ray up the inside into Spain. Can't do it there, but there was another battle going on further behind. Couldn't quite pick up on what that was. Freeman is ahead of Busov at the moment, but he's pushing a little too hard it seems. Now van der Waal looking to make a move on Ray Thomas once again. Now behind van der Waal is Nils van Lyck. Jan Sukovic looming in behind as well in the green liveried BMW. The reigning champion, number 1. Busov looking to make a move on Freeman. Freeman. Oh, he's pushed him off the track there as Freeman. That was a little bit naughty from him. And that's allowed MGK to take 2 places away from those two. Busov is past Freeman, but that was rather naughty from Will going into turn 1. Milden's still behind in 13th place, so MGK up to 10th place. Busov is still in 11th, Freeman down to 12th. See Ray closing back in on Lewis Robinson now in the fight for 5th. That battle's certainly raging on, and I think Bruno's got past Moritz. Or has he? Because Moritz is back ahead of him. Bruno was ahead of Moritz earlier on in the lap, and I think Moritz has got back ahead at the hairpin. The gap between Aldori in the lead and Colin second is down to 1.9. What is the gap like through sector 2? You can tell that Cole is pushing hard. He's got enough time to snatch victory. The gap is 2 seconds. A lot further back is the fight for 5th place. Robinson still there. Ray holding off Van der Waal for the time being, at least. MGK and Busov are 10th and 11th. Oh, and that's Busov going way too far out wide, and that is allowing Freeman and Milden through. Luckily, he didn't rejoin into the path of any of the drivers, but that mistake has cost him dear. Sean Cole holds the fast lap of the race right now. If the positions were to remain as they are, he'll be in the lead of the championship still. As we watch MGK and Rapiduc go to tow for 9th position. MGK going right round the outside. Rapiduc won't make it easy for him though. They both go into the second part of the right-hander. And Rapiduc stays in front. Great battle in between these two, leaving each other room and respect. And Van der Waal is still behind Ray through the S's. Gap is back down to 1.9. I think Cole is gaining more time slightly in Sector 1 than he is through Sectors 2 and 3. So as the field continuing to filter their way through the second sector of the lap. Beginning at Degner and then through the hairpin and then on the throttle towards Spoon. And before 130R is the end of the second sector. MGK on the back of Rapiduc, to take 9th place away from him. We're into the final quarter of this race now, and the leader's coming around to complete his 22nd lap. I think we will get 30 laps completed. Eldori, you can see Cole's got the gap down to 1.1 seconds now. He really is coming alive. Is the Scotsman. I think Moritz has dropped back horribly from Moritz and Bruno as well. I wonder if Moritz and Bruno have come together at the hairpin a few laps ago. They're safe and sound from those behind. They're having battles of their own. There's Milden in 12th, Busov ahead of Hutchinson and Anderson, who are fighting over 14th. Now 9 seconds, but Eldori's getting held up in traffic a little bit now, but thankfully I think that was Fireblade who was just getting out of the way, who's running in 22nd. Now we've got a battle for the lead, very much alive here, all the way to the checkered flag. Nine tenths was the gap at the end of the first sector, and this is Bruno having a go on Morex. Won't do it into Spoon. Might do it into the Casio Triangle chicane if he's close enough. One second's the margin between Eldori and Cole. Oh, and Moritz is running wide through 130R, and that is Bruno accepting the invitation. Oh, he goes in too wide though into the Casio Triangle himself, but he's doing to 3rd place, and deservedly so. Bruno has had a terrific race so far. Moritz, since losing the lead to Eldori, has not had a good time of it. His chances of a second win in a row at Suzuka, on the back of what we saw from him last season, are pretty much diminished. See, not too much changing further behind despite how close they are. MGK still looking to have a look on Rapiduc. Into the first turn, he goes for it. Rapiduc sees it and covers the position. Robinson still holding on to 14th. It's Blair. Pistols right at the back in 18th place. The gap between Aldori and Cole is down to 6 tenths. They're coming up to another back marker in a moment. That is Trotman in 21st. And I think he's going to be the last back marker that these leaders will be having to navigate their way through between now and the checker flag. Ball is really close now on lap 24. It's very close last week that Sean Cole came to the win. Less than a second behind Dominic Vodka at Laguna Seca. He does take second place in the fastest start. It'll be a respectable drive, you know, 2 second places putting him in the lead of the championship. See, that's Trotman staying out of the way of the top two as they go into turn 1. Minutes to go. So he called right on the tail now of Aldori as they go through Dunlop. Will he do it into the hairpin? He certainly won't do it into Degnan unless he can try. That was too ambitious, I think, and that's seen him run wide a little bit. But he's frightening Aldori a little bit. Might have to surprise him in sense of where he's going to pass him. Bruno is now 15 seconds off the battle for the lead. It's hard to think that, really. And Robinson's doing his best to close in. He was a long way behind these two, and now he's just over 8 seconds off. Not sure he's going to have enough time to catch them, though. But he'll give it a good go. Can Cole snatch victory? The final laps of this race. They'll be crossing over the line shortly, and I would say they've got 5 laps to go. Turns the gap. You don't need me to tell you what the gap is, to be honest with you. You can see Aldori going deep. See Ray still holding on to 6th ahead of Nils and Van der Waal. And Rapidoka and Nemchikov spaced themselves out a little bit. Freeman in 11th ahead of Milden, who's dropped back actually, and into the clutches of Busov. See Busov going for the move. He goes to the outside of Milden. Can he pull off this fantastic overtake? They go into turn 1. Busov runs wide. Can he keep his nose in it? Milden stays ahead for now. That was very marginal, but that's racing for you. Anderson behind Hutchison, with Rui closing in also in the battle for 14th. I think Cole's dropped back a little bit from Aldori, but it's not over yet. Gone past around 10 o'clock now over it. The game at Suzuka. Drivers have coped well. Not seen too many collisions, to be honest with you. We have seen drivers running wide. We've not had any driver being given a penalty for track limits or pit lane speeding. Been well behaved tonight. So the top two coming through. I think Cole got the better exit out of the two cars. And he's going to pull up into the slipstream on Aldori. Aldori, I think, will need to go defensive on this occasion. Cole into the slipstream. Stays behind for now. He's not close enough there. So he waits a little bit. Robinson is now 6 seconds behind Moritz. Moritz has dropped back from Bruno, I think, now, so he's having to settle for 4th place. Four laps remaining. Fight for the win is still very much there. Will it be Aldori taking it, or will it be Cole? Robinson's closing the gap on Moritz. The gap is down to 5.1 seconds going through the first sector. And I think Nils, is he in front of Van der Waal now? I think he might well be, and I think Nils is going to have a go on Ray in a moment. They're coming up behind Fireblade shortly. I'm going to go back to the battle for the lead because this is important. Aldori running wide. And Sean Cole closing in. I think Cole had the better exit slightly. Maybe around about the same. But Cole will be in the slipstream to have a go. 3 laps remaining. Cole thinks about it, but does not go for it just yet. Robinson's now 4.5 seconds behind Moritz. You can see he's closing down the gap all the time. I just hope that Moritz has got enough fuel in there to last the race. Is he fuel saving, I wonder? I think he might well be. Or perhaps he's suffering a little bit damage. You can see he's running wide a little bit. Not taking the best line into turn 1. And it looks like MGK is ahead of Rapiduct now. They went side by side on the pit straight. Has MGK got through? He has done. Or will Rapiduct fight back? Side by side. Rapiduct is still ahead of the Ferrari. These two have been at it all race. And it looks like Cole is continuing to pile on the pressure, but time is running out. Robinson is now 3.7 off Moritz in 4th. Or Aldori and Cole, as they're going to go side by side on the back straight here. As they go towards 130R, can Cole pull off a incredible overtake around the outside into 130R? I think Aldori will hold it off for the time being. He stays in front, but he's compromised his line, and that's going to open the door for Cole to pull alongside. Has Cole got through? He has done! Cole takes the lead here at Suzuka in Taco Tuesday in Tier 1. Brilliant overtake. He piled on the pressure over the last half a dozen laps or so. He's got the move done, and he's going to take victory at Suzuka, providing he doesn't make any more mistakes. Brilliant overtake. Aldori took a very compromised line into 130R, and that's what cost him. The overtake was bound to be made. But Cole has finally done it. 2 laps to go. He's on course for the race win here at Suzuka. And looking at Robinson, who's continuing to close in on Moritz. The gap was just under 3 seconds in sector 2. It's now 2.8. Robinson is clear of those behind. But has he got enough time to Make a threat to Moritz, never mind get past him. And Freeman and Busov are fighting over position in 11th and 12th. Got Milden behind in 13th. And Hutchison is still ahead of Anderson in the fight for 14th position. Moritz. Robinson. The gap is down to 2.2 seconds. Oh, Robinson's running a little bit too deep there on the second part of Degner. Bull making no mistakes, just needs to keep it tidy from here on in. The pit window is closed, but everyone's done all their stops. The top two will be starting their final lap once they cross over the line. They'll get over the line before the clock reaches 0. There we go, last lap. Gap is 1.2 seconds, but I think Aldori has this one covered. It looks like Van der Waal has got past Nils for P7 on the back straight towards 130R. Nils trying to fight back, and he's got through again. Brilliant racing between these two in the final stages. Has Van der Waal got anything to say on that though as they begin the last lap? So the outside he goes, says Van der Waal. This is for P7. And nearly bang wheels. They go into turn 1 together. And luckily they don't make contact. It looks like MGK's still behind Rapiduck. And I think Busov's just got past Freeman for 11th place. MGK looking for a move again on the reigning champion, but can't make the move stick. I think Ben Milden's dropped back because I think he's made a mistake somewhere. The gap between Moritz and Robinson is down to 1.6 seconds. It's a lot less than that now. I think Moritz is struggling with fuel, you know, because he's having to fuel save, and I think Robinson's going to take the position away from him. Oh, and Robinson got well out of shape. I'm not sure what's happened there, but that's going to give Moritz the breathing space he needs in the remaining half a lap of this race. Coming down the back straight now for the last time with the leaders. Just keeping an eye on Moritz and Robinson on our track map, but Moritz I think has got this one covered to keep hold of 4th place. But here's Sean Cole, the Scotsman, championship leader going into this race. 2nd at Laguna Seca. And it's going to go one better here at Suzuka and strengthen his position at the top of the championship. Sean Cole in the Mercedes AMG wins at Suzuka in Taco Tuesday. Ahmed Aldori finishes in 2nd place. His first podium since the back end of Season 7. Well done to him, and very well done to Bruno Canavera in the number 46 Audi. He's going to bring his car home to a well-deserved podium. Hats off to him. We'll go back to Moritz and Robinson, because I think Robinson... Has he got... Oh no, sorry, Moritz is still ahead of Robinson. Moritz will hold on to 4th place. Had it not been for Robinson's mistake, I think Robinson would have got Moritz on the last lap. Ray Thomas will come in 6th ahead of Nils and Van der Waal in 7th and 8th. Rapiduck will just hold on to 9th place ahead of MGK and Busov. Freeman will be 12th, and it's Milden who will hold on to 13th place ahead of Hutchison, Anderson, and Rui will cross over the line in 16th place. Cameron Blair will be 17th as he's coming up to lap what looks like Fireblade as they cross over the line together. Papizo will be 18th ahead of Ice Dude and Fagan, who are fighting it out actually for 19th place on the last lap. Good to see these two fighting. But Ice Dude I think will have the upper hand. The last car's on the lead lap. Paul Trotman will be 21st and Fireblade will be last of the finishers in 22nd place. But there's your race winner. It is Sean Cole in the 444 Mercedes AMG at Suzuka. Ahmed Aldori in 2nd place with Bruno Canavera in 3rd place. That's Mario Arsenio in 4th, with Lewis Robinson 5th, Ray Thomas in 6th place. Then it's Nils van Lyck and Damian van der Waal in 7th and 8th, the two Dutchmen finishing there. Rapidoc 9th, Jan Sukovic picking up some points. MGK in 10th place, it's Nikola Busov, he'll be disappointed with 11th. Will Freeman will be disappointed as well in 12th. It's Ben Milden, not a good race for him tonight, only 13th for him. Stuart Hutchison in 14th, it's Anno Anderson, Rui, Karen Blair, Farquhar Papizzle in 18th place. Isu 19th, had a Tom Fagan in 20th position. Paul Trotman in 21st and Fireblade in 22nd, and the last of the finishers. Andy Craven and Smallhand were the two drivers that did not finish the race. They won't be scoring points with the positions as they are. At the end of it, it's maximum points from Suzuka for Sean Cole. He moves on to 80 points in the championship race. The man moving up to 2nd place overall, that will be Morex, I believe, if I can get the championship standings up. So Mario Senio will move on to 68 points, I believe, with that result. So he's ahead of Adam Anderson, so he's up to 2nd place. And in 3rd position, I think, will be Ahmed Al-Dori with his 2nd place finish. The championship standings will be updated in due course. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for tuning in. Do check out all of the other championships that the Formula Racing League has to offer. Do make sure you like and subscribe as well in case you haven't already done so. There's all the social media platforms you can follow. There's the Facebook page and the Instagram username in case you want to go follow those. There's the website as well, the Formula Racing League. There's the Discord channel. And of course there's SimGrid where you can access all the results involved in the Formula Racing League in the Tech Tuesday series. It's time for me to end it there. I won't be around next week for the next round of the championship at the Hungaroring as I am on vacation. But we'll be back for round 4 of the championship. Now round 4, which will be in 2 weeks time, if I can just get the calendar up, will be at Snetterton on May the 9th. So I'll be around for then. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll do it over again next week, whoever will be in comms for then. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.